Awkward Hybrid here. It's time for part 2. Let's do this. So, Saturday, right? We wake up in the morning, and, the previous night, I had set my eyes on a cute little ride called, the Rip Ride Rocket. And it's not rocket spelled like, rocket. It's spelled like this. So things are pretty cool when you, alliteration. Sorry. So because this place opens up at 8 in the morning instead of 9 to the public, naturally, I want to go on this ride first, because it's like later on in the day, there's going to be like a 50-hour waiting period, so we kind of, or not necessarily we need to, and, I just wanted to try this out, because this thing goes straight up. From what I've seen before, first thing you do, 90-degree angle, uprise to a freaking 92-degree angle, decline. Naturally, I gotta go on this thing. So in the first hour of Cabana Bay Freedom, we have a 5-minute waiting period. 5 minutes. 5. Heck yeah. So I don't know, we're like going up the thing, it's, very red, and the legally required safety video is, a little bit, poorly animated, but I mean, it's legally required. You don't have to put a lot of effort into the exact same. Please put on your seatbelt, put away all carry-on items to a non-rider, or somebody do this and that and that and that, and so forth. And the ride is hecka awesome. Like, heck, yeah. I completely understand needing lockers to put your stuff in. It is great. So a few hours later, at like noon, we decide to go on this ride again. Now, I like this ride, not only because of that, but because apparently when you're in the first row, it has a little camcorder that records you throughout the ride. And Michael and I, we're one of the earlier riders, so naturally we gotta go on this thing. And then we eventually, we weren't like arguing, no, we have to be in the first row. It was just sort of like, you're here, front row you go. So we're being recorded. I didn't realize this until we got off the flight. No, not the flight. The ride. And I'm, having like, we're going up this 90-degree angle. Naturally, I have like looks of concern and slight regret. And, I'm screaming and during the rides, and like at the end of it, I'm like flung forward in my heavy seat. There's my brother, 19 years old, does not care. He's just sitting there with his arms folded, just, Like, I asked him, what were you thinking? And according to him, he said, I was more curious about, like, the weight limit on this ride. Like, he's not, like, a really hefty kid, but apparently that's just what was on his mind. He was so concerned about that. So naturally, I want to go on this thing again. But it was at noon. It already opened up to the public. It's been a few hours now. So, you go on. Now, a 50-minute waiting period. And we bought these little express tickets, which is like fast passes, again, from Disneyland. You get to wait, but you get to wait less. So if you didn't use the fast pass, express ticket, you'd have to wait for 90. Don't worry, we get to wait for 50. So that's an improvement. It's great. So we're waiting in line, hearing that stupid legally required safety video over and over again. And in like the first half, when you're on like the ground level, at least it has like variation. It would be like the same thing, but it would have more dialogue, more this and that and that and this. So, it's a little exciting, get to hear music. But apparently, when you start going up the stairs, they decide to keep it more straight point. And the one on the stairs was 1 minute, 20 seconds long. And when you're waiting in line for 50 minutes, naturally it's gonna get a little grating. So, Like, seriously, the only bit of relief we got was like 3 seconds of like little whooshing noises in between the video replays. Like it would just start off like with this poorly animated girl and like sort of dyed bluish hair, and she's like, "Okay, let's get this video rolling. Let's brush up on your safety procedures." And it's like, no. And it ends with her and then this other punk-looking guy, and they say, "Let's do it, Asta." Whatever Asta means, and then, whooshing noises. So every time I was like, please be something else, please be something else, please be something else. Okay, let's get this video rolling. But we were up the stairs. We were right up there. No more than 50 feet away from the coaster. It gets interrupted. But with what? We interrupt your program to give you the following. Due to possible inclement in weather, we might have to shut down this ride. We apologize for the delays, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. No, I don't. According to my dad, we're talking about this later when we were coming home. He said, "I don't care if there's a firestorm, we're getting on the ride." Like, that was my ideology. No one was saying anything, but yeah, in our minds it was like, if you dare. But we managed to get on just as the first rain droplets were falling. So sorry for the people waiting behind us. And what I noticed is that as we're getting off this ride, I checked the time behind us, and the wait time had doubled for the express line. So it was not only 50, but, well, not really doubled, but it added an extra hour, so it was 110 minutes. And then that was when we had officially, split up. But not for, like, the rest of the day, of course. It was just for 1 hour. And I decided to go on not the Rip Ride Rocket again, no. I went on the Jurassic World Splash Ride, Rivertide, yeah, that one. I went on it twice over. And something really fun to do is that since they take your picture on the way down, you act as, like, bored as possible, but not just like bored, but also like try to have this wide-eyed look that never like changes. Because I'm not trying to say, oh, it really freaks people out, because I wasn't trying to give that inclination like I'm trying out for the Suicide Squad movie and I'm cool and edgy, bro. It was just more like a little fun game I wanted to do when everyone else is screaming and you're just the only one on the ride just doing this. So yeah, I went on it twice, it was fine, but something that happened was that when I was waiting on it for the first time, when it was raining, I knocked into this woman about 4 times. She was Spanish speaking and she didn't know a lot of English, so I'm like, sorry. No, it's fine, don't worry. And it's just like, I'm sorry that I put you through this. Like, I knocked into her 4 times, I'm trying to watch the video, I bump into her and it's like, sorry. Because I don't know a lot of Spanish. I never took a Spanish class in middle or high school. I'm taking Japanese. But yeah, for the rest of the day, I'm just sort of like wandering around on my own. Sorry. And, the concession stands, they're fun. And I never really bought anything on my own, but something I was reminded of was the fact that not only is everything expensive, but in Florida, there's a sales tax. In Oregon, there is no sales tax. I had been in Oregon, I was born here, and then I moved over to Illinois, but then I moved back when I was 6, turning 7. And I've been living here ever since. Or at least at the time I make this. I'm probably gonna, move to Canada or something. The thing I want to point out is that the sales tax always surprises me. Every time. I never voice these, it's just like, oh, is there any tax I have to do? What? Huh? So yeah, I'm at the concession stand, and a medium-sized popcorn, not the souvenir ones, just regular cardboard. Pardon me. It says $3.99, but I pull out a $5 bill, and the woman's like, "That'll be $4.25, please." And in my head, I'm like, but it says, excuse me, it says $3.99. you lie? Again, I'm not saying this out loud. It's all in my head because I hate being rude to freaking concession stand employees. That was the word I was looking for. Like, seriously, later on, like, the next day or something, we were trying to get, like, a hot dog or something, and the guy was like, oh, you'll have to wait 20 minutes because we're currently all out, and Dad says a little bluntly, you know, oh, well, I guess we'll go somewhere else then. In my head, it's like, Dad, no! But yeah, something that also happened, I couldn't remember if this was on Friday or Saturday, so I'm just gonna put this in here anyway. This was my favorite thing on the trip. Not my ultimate favorite. It lasted pretty briefly, but I'm still gonna put this here anyway. On either Friday or Saturday, of course, we had got a concession stand. My brother got, like a hot dog or a churro or something. I have a small bag of cheddar cheese flavored sun chips. And the day was hot. It was not raining yet. It was like 11 or something. And there were like several pigeons around these tables at the concession stand. Now, what I decided was that I'd take out one, like a single, sun chip, crumble it up in my hand, and, unleash the crumbs onto the ground to try and feed some of them. And, again, I kid you not, once I got, there was, a small pile of, sun chip crumbs. Almost every pigeon in the vicinity started swarming around my feet. Well, in front of my feet, pecking at them and, trying to get their own one. And it's like, aha, yes! 'Tis I who rules upon all these 7 pigeons. 'Twas I who cast my spell upon the fledglings and put them under my control. This is my army, and nobody can defeat it. It was short-lived, but it was still great. I am the Pigeon Lord! 2 minutes! Yeah, it was fun. But okay, here's something that I actually do remember happening on the Saturday. What I've been hearing was that it was a 30% chance of rain from 2 to 3. In actuality, in the words of my father, it was a 100% chance of utter complete rainfall from 2 to 9, because we were soaking. We were just wearing, our regular coats. I'm wearing a rain jacket, so I'm, not that concerned. But this is Florida. Everybody else in the entire... It was everyone else in all of the park were wearing the white, see-through-ish plastic ponchos that were, being sold at the concession stands. Hey, here's a churro and a poncho. And here's us losers without them. My brother said this. I could see this. When we got back to our hotel rooms at, 8 or 9, his hoodie that he was wearing, his BYU Idaho, was, light gray. At the end of the day, there was, a fine line on, his shoulders and, his lower chest. Was, a dark gray, almost black from the complete rainfall. Don't worry, guys. There's still gonna be an extra part to come.